Hey guys, sorry for the kind of weird background. I'm in the boys' room. My room is just really dark right now. It's kind of like the middle of the day and it's just a dark, overcast day. But I wanted to do like a life update for you guys. We have been making some big changes. So the other day in one of my videos I mentioned that, we may not be going back to Disney for a while, and I got a lot of messages like, is everything okay? Da 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 da. So, long story short, if you watch my channel for any amount of time, you know that my husband and I want to move down south. We've been talking about it, in all honesty, for a couple of years, but getting more and more serious within the past year. No, we do not want to move to the south to go and live near Disney. That's not why we're trying to move. We hate the snow. We hate the amount of snow that we get. We could handle a little bit of snow, but these 30, 40, 50, 60 inches winters are just getting to be a lot on us. It's a lot on your car. It's a lot on your house. It's a lot on my husband working a full day and then having to come home and spend hours and hours and hours cleaning up snow. It can ruin roofs. There's a lot of issues with snow. So there's that. My husband has really no contact with his family. It's been a few years now. And, the reason we were up here was mainly for family. And yes, I do have my mom. I do have my two cousins. But my aunt has since moved. And, our family is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Also, just the cost of living. For what we paid for our home, we got a decent deal on it, yeah. But we could get a house that's like another bedroom or two down south, like double the square footage, a really nice neighborhood where there's tons of kids, and, there's just so many benefits housing-wise. The cost of living is a little bit cheaper, like gas is a little bit cheaper, groceries are a little bit cheaper, tax rates are a little bit cheaper, things like that. Here we don't have sales tax, but we do have really high tax rates. So here in my town, tax rates for your house are about $24 per 1,000 value. Down there it's like $8, $6. We have zero sales tax. They have about 6% sales tax. So, it may all wash out. It may not. Who knows? But yeah, so, we've been thinking, and our original plan was as soon as I can go to work full time, we'll move. Well, with everything that's been going on with Trevor's school over the past few years and, all of that, we really want to get him out of school, and he really doesn't want to be homeschooled. He really wants to be in a school situation. He likes the socialness of it and all that. And, we were thinking we should really get him moved before he starts high school. Really, it would be nice for him to get 1 or 2 years in middle school so that he can kind of form that close friendship and, move up to the high school or whatever. So, my husband and I have been having a really hard time, within our marriage because I'm unhappy. I don't like living here. I hate living here. I hate this house. I hate the fact that we have to spend so much to live here. It's just, yes, you make more money, but you spend a lot more money, and it's really, really hard, and it's really, really frustrating at times, especially when the weather sucks. The people up here have really bad attitudes. They're not friendly. They're not respectful. It's like huge entitlement issues up here. And I know that that's everywhere, but it's predominantly more up north. I hate the fact that the thought of my kids all driving soon and getting braces and all that stuff terrifies me, because financially it's going to be, something else that just stretches us a little bit tighter. My husband thankfully works in a field where his job is needed everywhere, so that's a good thing. And the pay is pretty comparable where we're looking to move to what we're making up here, yet the cost of living is slightly lower, so we will have more money. And my husband has always said, even if I make a little bit less, but I am a lot less stressed with the snow and the house and all that stuff, then it's a win-win for me. So he and I were seriously talking, and I said, something's got to change. We got to get out of here. We got to do something. And, he went and he was talking with a counselor, and, she's like, what would make your wife happy? And he's like, if he goes, I don't help her a lot in the house. I don't really do anything in the house. And he doesn't. And that's a very honest statement. He's like, I make the money, and that's kind of all I feel like I need to do. And he's like, well, do you think your wife would be happier if you were, somewhere else? And, or what would make your wife happier? And he said, if we were down south. He goes, she would miss her mom, she would miss her brother, but she would ultimately be a lot more happy down there. She's like, make it happen. So about a couple months ago, or a couple weeks ago now, a girlfriend of mine got an awesome opportunity. Her husband is more of like an office job. So her husband got an opportunity where they're actually going to be going and living down south. And, they're just picking up and moving. And, their situation is a little bit different. Like, they have a house secured down there and stuff like that, so they can pick up and move. We don't have that type of situation, but it just kind of like I was talking to him about it, and he's like, you know what, Amanda? He's like, if they can do it, we can do it. He's like, I'm not saying get up and move like they are now. He's like, we'll do it however you want, because I'm nervous and I want to save a ton of money and, do it the right way. But he's like, let's set a goal. So we were thinking like 3 to 5 years. He's like, why 3 to 5 years? Why that many? And then, we started looking into schools and stuff. So it looks like we are going to be moving in summer of 2017. So next summer, about a year and a couple months away. We're kind of looking in a few areas. So right now I'm focusing on North Florida or Georgia. The Carolinas are still just a little bit too expensive for us. And, we are making a big move in order to save a lot of money. So I think what we're looking in the Cummings, Kennesaw, Canton, that type of area of Georgia, kind of like northwest of Atlanta. I want to have a town similar to what I have here, where I have shopping very close by. I have, doctors and hospitals and everything fairly close by. My husband commutes about 20 to 25 minutes for work. We want the same type of feel. However, looking at houses there, we could get a house that would retail here for $400,000 for like 180, 160, 150, 140. It's like, that's insane. And we want to be able to give Trevor his own room as he gets a little bit older. Sorry, I thought I cut off. We want to give Trevor a room when he gets a little bit older, and always have the big kid having their own room and sharing with the others and da-da-da-da. So we have spoken with a realtor. Realtor is coming to the house, and he kind of already gave me some tips of stuff that we need to do, but we're essentially going to make our house sell ready. We're just going to do some cosmetic stuff. Our house needs siding. We're really, really, really hoping to avoid siding my house. I really don't want to side my house. It's a lot of money. We are just going to do whatever we need to do to get it to sell. We want it to sell quickly. We don't need to make a ton of money on it. In all honesty, I would be happy if we just we're even. We could pay the realtors, we could pay the banks, we could pay off our mortgage and be done with it. If we could walk away with $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, that would be even better. So the house will go on the market around this time next year, in hopes that we can really be out of here for, like right when the kids are done with school. We are hoping over the next year we are going to pay off any small amounts of debt that we have, just to make sure that our credit score is that much better for when we do want to go and buy a house. We also don't want to go down there with any bills. We want to go down there with the only bills being our cell phone and our car insurance, nothing else. We want to go there with about 3 to 4 months worth of living expenses, just in case, you never know, you know what I mean? And then we also want to sell off a lot of our stuff. We are not going to be bringing a lot of our stuff. We're going to be bringing like my headboard, and that's pretty much it, besides like my TV and my clothes in my room. In the kids' rooms, we're going to bring the Aubrey and Casey's mattresses, the boys' bed, and Ellie's framing of her bed, but then that's really it, besides clothing. Living room, we might bring our side table, we might not. It was a $40 table, we might not. Dining room, we're bringing nothing. Our kitchen, we'll bring our cookware and stuff like that. Anything that's worth taking. But we're essentially over the next year going to really be like just getting the house down to bare minimum, getting it really, really clean and nice and neat and ready to sell. We're going to be doing some projects on it so that it sells quicker, hopefully. And just saving a lot of money. We've gotten used to paying, about $6,000 to $7,000 for Disney vacations every 9 months. And, you get your tax return, which is $1,000 or $2,000. And so for us, we're just going to save as much as possible and just hope that we can make a little bit of money on the house. And if not, no big deal, but then head down there. Next April, we may drive down there, apply for some jobs, maybe do some interviews, or, you know, even apply beforehand, maybe do some interviews, look in a couple different areas, look at the schools, and, you know, really pin down where we want to live. It's going to be a huge thing because, you know, I mean, it's big. We're leaving my mom, and that terrifies me. We're actually going to be living close to my brother because my brother will be living in Tennessee at the time. But we're leaving all of our family. We're leaving all of our friends. And it's terrifying. It's really, really terrifying. So, you know, that's a huge life event for us. So the channel may get kind of boring because it's literally going to be me doing a lot of home projects, getting rid of a lot of stuff, selling a bunch of stuff, and every single thing that we sell, we're just going to put that money in like a jar somewhere, and that's just going to be our money to like replace things. Because I mean, when we go down there, we're going to have to buy a new dining room table, a new couch, you know, stuff like that. We're really hoping to find the smallest truck possible. We are going to sell my husband's car and our plow truck and just drive my van down. We'll buy my husband something when we get down there. For us to have to tow it and, you know, all that, it's just not worth it. We don't think, we think he wants a truck down there anyways, so, you know, we'll get him a truck. But yeah, so if you have any advice on a good place to live in Georgia or North Florida, you know, what we're looking at is a smaller town near bigger cities, not in Atlanta, or, you know, any of the major cities in Florida. Decent schools. We want a good, you know, lower cost of living, lower house prices and stuff like that. Definitely let me know below. But yeah, we are going to be moving, and we've told the kids about it. We haven't told my mom about it because I just don't want to go there with her yet. But yeah, so that's a big life-changing moment for us.